Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're going to start by explaining a few things. Things that I remember from the age of 5. 5, we lived in Rock Rapids, Iowa. My mom and dad owned a bar, and my sister was 18 months old. My brother was 4 months old, and my sister, we were all at the house. Babysitter was there, and my sister got sick. She started throwing up, and so the babysitter had me run to the bar to get my mom, and she took her to the hospital. She had appendicitis attack. They took her appendix, and my mom left me at the bar to bartend, and we didn't know where my dad was. So half hour later, I'm sitting there behind the bar, and there was like four older gentlemen there, and my mom told me to just give them what they want. They know how much it is. They'll put the money in the till and blah, blah, blah. And my dad comes to the bar and asked me what I was doing. I said, I'm bartending, and I'm 5 years old. And he said, well, you're not old enough, and went off, and he picked me up by my ears, put me in the booth, and then he said, you're not old enough, and you shouldn't be here, and then he backhanded me, and I started crying, and he said, boys don't cry. So I quit. And after that, anything that happened, I got blamed for. So the first thing I remember was the belt came out. I got whipped, and then I went to school the next day, and we were wrestling around, and I made some screams and stuff because the guys were jumping on my back, and teacher went over and looked, and she called the welfare office, and they come to the school, and then after school, and we went home, and the welfare people were at my house, and my dad, he was explaining to them that I must have fell or something, and when they left, then out come the belt. I got it again, because he said I was lying. And that went on. Then at the age of 12, I got baptized out here at Wing River, and I thought maybe things would change, but they didn't. My mom tried to get a divorce 3 times. She finally got it when I was 17, and he left, but then he always came back. Always come visit. He said he was coming to visit the kids, but never did. We never. And then he passed away when I was 28 from alcoholism. And all this time I'm thinking, well, I grew up watching other classmates and their fathers and their mothers and how they were getting treated, and I couldn't figure it out. Why would my dad do this and treat me that way? So I thought after I got baptized that things would change, but they didn't. And then when Mom got the divorce, things didn't change, because he'd come back and I'd always get the end of it one way or the other. When he passed away, I was 28 years old. I thought maybe things would change, but kept going on. So, and I went on my way. I joined the service, did my time in the military, and then when I came home, post-traumatic stress and all that other stuff, and drinking, and it just didn't seem to change. And when my dad passed away, when I was 28, after he passed away, after the funeral, then I prayed, but I wasn't reborn. I thought I was, but I was asking God to do it my way. So this went on for another 10 years, and then when I was 38, I quit drinking, and the second day that I hadn't had anything to drink, I got down on my knees and prayed to be saved and reborn, and things started to change. I could see, and the more I prayed, the more I found out that that's where I was lost for so many years. So, and then when I did get sober, the one thing I did learn, because it took me a while that I had to forgive my father for the way he was, and it took me like 3 years before of sobriety, where I didn't drink, to realize that I needed to do that. So I had to make amends to him, and I sat down and I wrote a 6-page letter on both sides for all the things that he did to me. And it was like somebody lifted 1,000 pounds off my shoulders. So after I got down on my knees and was reborn, things have been looking up. Nothing's perfect.